Okay guys, here's a follow-up. Here's the rough casting as it came out, and this is where the sand didn't fill in, so I gotta grind that off and dress it off, and a little bit of flaws back here, fill that in with a little TIG. Everything else is good and solid. So after you do a little grinding and filing and clean it up a little bit, it doesn't look too bad. Now this one isn't done. I just started to spot face this. Hope the camera's picking that up. I spot faced it. I'll clean that all up. And I've got the hole. I dressed off the top. Now I gotta put a spot face in here about 1/8 of an inch deep, and that is so when I put the 1/4-20 bolt through the hole, and I'm gonna put a handle on this. I'm gonna drill through and put a handle on it. But when you spot face down about 1/8 of an inch, and then cut a groove in the bolt for an E-clip. So you put an E-clip on there, then the bolt will stay in, and then like I said, I'm gonna put a handle on that, and there you got it. Now here's one that's about 90% finished. I still have to spot face it. I'm not sure if I cleaned it up on the underneath, but it snaps right in. And let's see if I can, oh, this one, yeah. And then here's my set screws. You don't need all three, all you need is two. One in the center stays there, and you just move that back and forth if you rotate it around. So you just move the screw. But there it is. Now all I gotta do is slide on my arms and my glass, and I'm all set to do welding videos. The camera would sit right here, and like I said, if you had a flip open, you just roll it around so that the camera sits this way with the flip open out here, and then you turn the rod around. That's why I was saying you switch the screws. But there it is, and it's looking pretty good. I got what did I get, 3 or 4 good castings out of all of them. But I also learned something that by mistake. All right. If you remember in the video, I said I had one that was really had a really bad casting. I'm going to have to TIG weld it up. It was too bad. But what I found out was this Loctite PL 300 foam bond adhesive. Don't use it to gluing your stuff together, because this won't burn out like the foam. It acts as a wall. That's why one of my other castings that wasn't in the video totally failed, because I glued the spew and the gate all together with this stuff, and it acted like a barrier, and the aluminum never poured through it. What I'm saying is, by mistake, I just figured out that this stuff is an instant, kind of like a substitute for core sand. If you want to have a hole in your casting or a pocket, you fill it with this, and it's an instant hole. So after you get through burning out, pouring your casting, you just knock out the burned up adhesive, and there's your hole or your pocket. On one of the other castings that didn't come out so good, I filled in a great big spot and knocked it all out, and there was the mistake I was trying to fill in. Perfect. It is not a complete replacement for coarse sand, but if you were doing a plate or something that you had a whole bunch of holes, you could fill this in the holes, smooth it off, and when you poured your casting, your holes would be there. If you had a groove that you wanted to keep in your make sure, instead of making a coarse sand to stick in there, you could use this, cut your groove in your mold, fill that groove in with this, smooth it off, and when foam burns away, this will stay there, keeping your groove in place. So in a way, my mistake actually came up with a great idea for a substitute for coarse sand. And it being a liquid, you can fill in anything you want with it, any shape you want with it, and mold it, shape it, let it dry in your foam, and you're good to go. And it won't burn through foam. So you can make your mold, fill all your holes, fill your grooves or whatever with this to know that they're going to be there after you pour your casting. So I found out something that is an instant replacement for coarse sand if I want something, just to do something simple and quick. Okay, so that's the story on the camera mount for welding videos. All I gotta do now is put my arms on, and I gotta spot face it for the E-clip, and I'm good to go. I'm all set. Now, the other thing, let me move this out of the way. The other thing was, I was so excited and so I wanted to get those castings poured that I forgot something as simple as a can. When the aluminum was running all over that flask, it was because I forgot one of the basic simple things you're supposed to do. You put your spew down. Let's use this. Say this is your spew going down. Okay? After you get it in and you got your sand all built up, you put this can over your spew and push it about an inch into the sand. Now you got a bigger hole to shoot at, plus when your aluminum fills up the spew all the way to the top, you can have a bigger reservoir sitting around your spew without any building any extra capacity down below on your mold. You could fill this up as full as you wanted to make sure you had enough aluminum to go down and fill your mold. So that was my mistake. I just completely forgot about it. I knew something wasn't right when the aluminum started flowing all over the place. That was my fault. I got too excited and wasn't paying attention. But now I know. And all it is I think this is a evaporated milk can. So that's probably a 12-ounce can. But you can use a soup can, a juice can, any kind of a can, as big as you want, or a coffee can, if you can still get metal coffee cans. Um, but cut out the bottom, cut out the top, and there's your collar. Goes right over your spew, going to your mold, and you got all that volume. And then when you're done, it's just a can. Cut it down the side, peel it open, and throw it away. Okay, so that's that. Now, I was thinking, again, my mistake, I know. Alright, you've probably seen these sales for these little spy cameras. Oh, excuse me. I get them all the time. They're only $10. And they have a memory card in the side. And if you charge them up, I've had one of these run for an hour. And it's got a mic. And it's got, surprisingly, for a little bitty camera like this, it's got a good clear picture. Matter of fact, some of the segments in my welding foundry videos was from this camera. So I was thinking, well, how about we take and make a little aluminum angle iron, cut it down to the width of the camera, drill and tap a 1/4 inch hole, and I put an extra piece of aluminum on it to give me more threads. Then I took and put Velcro on the back. Then I took, almost lost it. Then I took and put Velcro on the camera, stretch that leg back out, and I take and stick it like that, and get my thing straight here. There it is. Now I got a tripod, and the thing is, you can take and put this on a regular tripod mounting bracket, so then you can have this little camera on a tripod. The only hard part with these little cameras is there's no rangefinder, there's no sight to look through, so you're going to have to kind of like ballpark it. But they got a good field of view, a wide field of view, and a good mic to pick up sound. So you can mount this straight on to a regular tripod mount, snap it in your tripod, you're good to go. Or you can put it on a little tripod like that. Well, now what about what we have been building? What about having this mount sitting on a bench, pointed down at your welding? How about doing this? Again, an aluminum angle, cut down to fit that. Little extra plate, so you got some threads. Square bar. Drill your hole through. Put your arm on here. And seeing it's you're only covering this little bit of the camera, you could use the small welding lens and screw it right on there with your lens in the front. And now for $10 and maybe $5 in aluminum, not including the welding, of course, but here it is. You can stick it on here, aim it right down at your welding with the lens in front, and for $10 you could be recording welding videos. or 15 bucks rather. 10 for the camera and 5 for the bracket, and it's a no-brainer. I mean, you know, how simple can you get? So that works. Got to get it straight. Got to get the camera straight. There. Now the camera straight. So, matter of fact, I just squeezed the power button, turned it on. I got to turn it off. There. But it just it's so simple, and it's easy to do. And you could put it here and do your welding here. You could, you know, put it anywhere you want it. You can ramp it down so you're aiming right at your welding area with the lens right in front of it. It'll work like a dream. Just another idea, and it would save a lot of money. So I think I covered everything. Got any questions or comments? Put them in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, please subscribe. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.